بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم. I'd like to remind myself and the brothers of some of the many virtues of the knowledge of Allah's names and attributes. The first virtue I bring to your attention is that knowledge of Allah's asma wa sifat, His names and His attributes, is of the greatest forms of knowledge, but rather that is the greatest form of knowledge. Out of all the different things that we can study in Islam and all the virtues that are connected to them, the greatest thing that which we can learn is Allah's names and attributes, His asma wa sifat. The second benefit I bring to your attention is the reason why it is the best forms of all knowledge. And that is because once you learn about Allah through His names, through His attributes, it's going to cause you to love Allah and worship Him out of the love of Allah, not based upon your culture or because you're being told to do so. That worship is actually going to mean something to you because you're doing it out of your own accord, out of the own knowledge which you have sought about Allah, and it causes you to love Him, and it makes you want to have that strong connection to Him, and it makes you want to meet Him and stand in front of Him on Yawm al-Qiyamah and have an easy passing when you're being judged. From the great importance or the great virtues of Allah's asma wa sifat is that Allah loves His own names and attributes, and He loves for the effects of those names and attributes to become apparent in His creation. An example of this is beauty. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Inna Allaha jamilun yuhibbul jamal." Surely Allah is beautiful and He loves beauty. Allah is all knowledgeable and He loves the people of knowledge. Allah is shy from rejecting the slave, and Hayy is from His names, and He loves shyness. Allah is a Sadiq, the truthful one, and He loves the people who are truthful. Allah is Ar-Rahim, the merciful one, and He loves the people who have mercy. So Allah loves His names and attributes, and He loves for the effect of the names and attributes to be apparent in His creation. From the great virtues of learning Allah's names and attributes is that Allah has created us to worship Him. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I have not created jinn and mankind except to worship Me alone. But how are we going to worship that which we do not know about? If we do not know about Allah's mercy and Allah's forgiveness and Allah turning to His slaves when they turn to Him in repentance and Him accepting their repentance and all the different names and attributes that Allah has, if we do not know about them, then it's going to be difficult to worship Him because you're worshipping Him out of ignorance. This is something which Islam condemns. We do not worship Allah based upon ignorance, but rather we worship Allah based on sound knowledge of His names and attributes. We affirm that which He has affirmed for Himself, and we negate that which He has negated for Himself. So we do not deny Allah's names and attributes, nor do we reject Him, but rather we affirm them. And surely Allah knows best.